Now to new developments this morning on the ongoing lawsuit against Fox News over the 2020 election and comments made by the company's owner, Rupert Murdoch, who has admitted that some of his network's hosts knowingly endorsed false claims that the election was stolen.
Unsealed court documents reveal the billionaire media mogul made the comments in a deposition as part of a $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit by Dominion Voting Systems against Fox News.
NBC News senior reporter Jane Timm joins us now for more on this. Jane, so much to talk about here. So let's just start with these stunning allegations. What exactly is Murdoch saying, and what did he say in his deposition?
You know, this boss's News Corp's chairman executive's deposition is stunning. I mean, you have to hear it in some of his own words. He said he was trying to straddle the line, as the network was trying to straddle the line between spewing conspiracy theories on one hand, yet calling out the fact that they are actually false on the other. And that is that sort of trigger line that we're talking about here. Because if you remember watching Fox at the time, there was a little bit heavy on the conspiracy theories than there was on the actually fact-checking, calling out the truth. But that's what Dominion's trying to portray. The idea that someone as top of the network, most powerful person in that building, Rupert Murdoch, knew these things were false, and his deposition does indicate that, and that he knew his hosts were endorsing them, and that he could have stopped them from making air, but chose not to. There's one quote that's sort of stunning here, and that's what every expert has called out to us, where he says, they say, could you have pulled Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell off the air, these Trump attorneys, as you remember, who were sort of advancing these wild theories about Dominion being connected to Hugo Chavez and all of these sort of kooky conspiracy theories. And he said, yes, I could have, but I didn't. And, you know, they dig into, Dominion's lawyers are trying to portray a narrative here where this was about the money and the ratings for Fox News, and that they had a motive for advancing these conspiracy theories. Their defense is, of course, the First Amendment here, and they're leaning hard on this idea that they did this to keep their viewers who they were very anxious about these filings reveal, going to other conservative networks who were giving platforms to election denialists.
So this is what Murdoch is saying in the deposition, but just overall with this lawsuit going on, what is Fox News saying about the lawsuit?
So Fox News is leaving really hard on this idea that the First Amendment is important. I believe we have their statement. Here's what they said, the summary judgment motion took an extreme, unsupported view of defamation law that would prevent journalists from basic reporting, basically arguing that we had to talk about this stuff because the president was making these, as Murdoch put it in his wild claims. Yes, and knowing falsity is a really important part of a defamation case. And the experts that I talked to, First Amendment scholars, say, I have never seen this mountain of knowing falsity in any major case like this.
And what's Dominion saying? I mean, the trial starts in April. Are they optimistic?
You know, they say that they're a strong believer of the First Amendment, but that doesn't give you license to spew conspiracy theories, knowingly saying lies. That isn't their exact quote, paraphrasing here. But I do think that Dominion was made a household name in that 2020 election, and they're quite aware of these filings going public. And I think they're, I mean, if you just the way the lawyers write these briefs, they seem to be enjoying it.
You're saying the First Amendment does not shield them from this, is what Dominion is saying right there. Jane, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.